Now another thing that sold, and I was very pleased about this. I just threw my phone across the room. My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook. Sometimes I go picking with my boyfriend, sometimes it's my best friend Sue, and sometimes it's my kids. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and hopefully just maybe making a profit. Okay, my friends, it is time for another sold video because, as you know, if I just keep putting off the sold videos, we're going to end up with a 4-hour long sold video, and I know you guys don't want to sit through a 4-hour long sold video, and personally, I don't want to film a 4-hour long sold video, so we're going to do a quick sold video and go through some of the stuff that I've sold over the past, I want to say 2 weeks. I haven't actually gone back and checked, but I'll put the time frame up here for you guys to see how long it has been since my last sold video. Now, as a reminder, this is gross profit. This does not include taxes. This does not include fees. This does not include shipping. I do not include shipping in my calculations because I charge my buyers shipping, so shipping is irrelevant. The other thing to keep in mind is I do not do this full time. This is just a hobby for me. This is not a full-time job. I am not a full-time reseller. This is just fun. I do this for fun, believe it or not. This is a fun thing for me. So, all of that being said, I think we got through all of our disclaimers. People are still going to go down in the comments and say, well, you didn't calculate the fees, because people like to do that. Like I said just now in the video, fees are not included. We're just doing gross profit. So let's go through everything that I've sold on Etsy, and we'll talk a little bit about how much I made. So up here in the corner, I will be putting what I paid for the item, what it sold for, and my profit, my gross profit, not including fees or taxes or any of that. So let's go through it real quick, and we will start on March 25th because I believe that's where we left off. So one of the items I sold on March 25th was a little green deer. It was Blue Mountain pottery. I did not actually get it on film, unfortunately. It was behind the counter and I saw it and I'm like, my last deer sold really well. So I think I'm gonna take that deer right there for $2 and I'm gonna sell that. And I think I can make a profit on that. So I bought the deer for $2 and I made a little bit of money on it. Deer seem to sell well for me. I don't know why. Another thing that sold a day later on the 26th were the Holt Howard mugs. Now, the cool thing about the Holt Howard mugs is I actually picked up 2 of them a while back, and I just loved the colors. They were teal and they were lime green, and just the florals, I loved them. So I bought the 2 of them, and then like a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, Sue and I were out and I found a matching one, but it was matching but not, because I think they were like the date on the bottom, because they all have dates. One was like 1965 and one was like 1968, so there were different dates and you could actually see the different style of the handle and stuff. They're very cool. But the 3 mugs, I had 3 Holt Howard mugs, and those sold for $20. So made a little bit of money on those. Now, another thing that sold recently, I have my phone down here. I'm not just like staring at the table. I do have to point that out in a lot of videos because people are like, what are you looking at? My phone, that's what I'm looking at. So the whole vase in a most recent flea market video, I picked up a double whole vase. I don't remember what I paid for that, but I'll put it up here because it was like part of this big box that I got, and he's like all $7 for the box or something like that. I ended up getting $32 for that. Now, which is crazy is just last week we went to Texas. On our way back from Texas, we stopped at this antique shop, and they actually had 2 of these double hull vases on the mantle there at this antique shop, and they wanted like $150 each. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I did my research on eBay and those sell for like between 30 and 40 bucks. Like, you can buy them right now on eBay for that much. So it was a little crazy. It was a little bit overpriced. I mean, I thought I had a fair price. I was asking a fair price. I guess I could have asked $150 and let it sit there for quite a long time. I did not do that though. Another thing that sold was a little brown owl paperweight that was, it was so retro. I want to say it was like 1970s staring into your soul kind of owl. It wasn't like a cute little fluffy owl. It was a staring into your soul owl. I got $18 for that owl. The Fisher-Price Schoolhouse, which was actually one of Drew's picks. He picked that up at the Goodwill. Now that one, we got $28 for that. It was in really good condition. All the stickers were still on there. A lot of the times the stickers start to peel off. But this was in good condition. Unfortunately, it didn't have any of the accessories. When you're looking at these pieces, you want the accessories. The accessories really bump up the value. This was just the schoolhouse, unfortunately. Now, the little strawberry jam jar. I had that for quite a while. That sold for $18. One of my little molds, my cookie molds, you guys know I'm obsessed with those. I buy them and then they sit and they sit. I finally sold one. I was so excited. I sold one of the bear ones. That was one of the first ones I bought at the Savers in New England. I got $10 for that. I don't think I got that one. That was a long time ago, so I'm going to skip this one. We're going to go on to the little, you guys remember the fish wooden bowls that I picked up at the Goodwill. I think I was by myself. I don't believe anyone was with me. I just went to the Goodwill. The manager was there. Every time the manager's there, he's like quality control, and he doesn't let anything, hardly at all. I mean, I'm still able to pick stuff, but he's very good about making sure that nothing pickable gets out on the shelves. Well, I showed him because I got these little fish bowls, and I got the fish bowls. I got 4 of them. I sold 3 of those while we were in Texas, and I believe I sold them for $16 a piece. I did. I sold them for $16 a piece. So I sold 3 to 3 separate buyers, it looks like, for $16 a piece. So that was good. The other one sold quite a while ago, so that one is irrelevant. The little wiener dog vanity ceramic thing, that finally sold. That was Drew's pick as well at the Goodwill. That sold for $14. Those are just adorable ceramic mid-century. Don't sell for very much. I mean, that is your average value for those. As adorable as they are and as mid-century iconic as they are, they don't sell for very much. Another thing I did not get on video, so we're going to skip that. I'm skipping the stuff that I don't get on video. I don't usually include that in my sold videos. So it's not really what I made, but it's close. It's what you guys have seen, so I count it that way, I guess. These are just real informal sold videos. We'll just put it that way. Okay, the little, it was like this little Asian creamer. I guess it was a creamer. It was a little creamer. It was a guy with a hat. At first, I was like, is that Napoleon? And Andrew looked at me like I was like stupid, and he's like, what? I'm like, never mind. He's like, it's a little Asian creamer. I'm like, okay, never mind. It was a stupid question. Yes, it's a little Asian creamer that looks nothing like Napoleon except for the big hat. That's what really made me think Napoleon. That sold for $18. The Tonala pottery duck that I got with Sue, that sold. That was really good quality compared to some of the examples that I've seen. Especially we were in Texas last week and I came across one, and it was nowhere near, it was larger, but it was nowhere near the quality of the duck that I had picked out when I was with Sue. So that made me feel pretty good about that duck. That sold for $52. Which I thought was pretty fair, because that it was really nice quality compared to some of them. The cyclamen, the Otajiri cyclamen tea set. Oh, that was forever ago. I don't even know if you guys remember it. I got this tea set in this box, and I had recalled seeing little smaller cups somewhere else in this Goodwill. And that was like a week before, and I went on the hunt and I was able to round up the rest of this set. And so like in the box you had the teapot, and you had 4 mugs, and you had one little itty bitty teacup. And like, where are the other well, there was 3 other teacups out on the shelf that went with this set. So I found them, put them with the set. That finally sold. I really liked the pattern on that. It was pink flowers. It was very pretty. That sold for $36. Now these complete sets, these pitcher sets, these tea sets, they are a pain to ship. So if you are buying and reselling, keep that in mind when you're buying this stuff. I see a lot of it come through on Facebook. They're like, is this worth it? And I'm like, no, it's not worth the hassle of shipping it. You have to factor that in. I didn't get that on video, so I'm not going to include that. Another one not on video. This is really cutting it. It's not, at the end I'm going to be like, this is my profit, and it's going to really suck because I'm not including a bunch of stuff. Okay, the little pink boudoir lamps. Those sold, I believe we paid $18 for that, but if I'm wrong, you'll know up here. Those sold for $45. So that was pretty good. Now the little napkin cutout, it was like a little it was like a bird, it was a vintage cutout. That one sold as well. I've had that for a while, but I absolutely loved it. That sold for $16. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the pitcher set that Andrew fought over. Andrew spilled blood over this pitcher set, and it sold. Oh yeah. It sold for $58. The pitcher set, it was the pitcher, the glasses, and the ice bucket that sold. So Andrew, it was a good thing Andrew fought over that because it finally sold. The seal mugs, the little baby seal mugs that I picked up with Sue, that I believe to also be Otajiri. Not positive. They did not have a sticker or a mark on them. I believe that's what they were. They sold for $24. Now the little terracotta cat, that wasn't very long ago, that sold for 18 bucks. The wheat canisters, it was a set of 3 wheat canisters. I think they're arc wheat canisters. They're French. Those sold for $26. Now I also had a little creamer. I picked up this creamer because I liked the lines of it. I liked the shape of it. It was made by Trico in Japan. That sold for $12. I occasionally pick up little orphaned creamers and sugars because sometimes I just like them. I like the shapes, I like the designs, and then, you know, unfortunately they're orphaned, so they don't have a partner like this one. But moving on. I think I may actually have this one on video, but this is like a super, super old installment of Crazy Lamp Lady, and it's like really like a year, maybe 2 years ago. I bought this little slag glass bear, and it's just sat, and I haven't had it listed, and I finally listed it a couple days ago. That actually sold for $20, and I can't recall how much I paid for it. I'm gonna have to go back to the video and check, which I usually do when I put the numbers up here. I want to say $3 or $4 for that. So that sold for $20. Another thing that sold from a recent video was the little green, it almost looked like a squash. It was like in a little Asian jar, lidded jar. That sold for $18. I got that when I was out with Sue. The little carnival glass bowl I got at the flea market. It was a 7-inch bowl. I was like having serious issues identifying the pattern because I could have swore it was a blackberry pattern, and I could not find the maker of that specific pattern, and it driving me nuts. So I listed it. That sold for $20. Okay, the salt and pepper shakers. It was a mama dog and there are 2 little babies on her back. That sold, and that sold for $32. Now that is kind of unique because no matter, through all my research, I was not able to find a matching salt and pepper shaker to that one, which was very weird. And I liked that about it. I liked that it was unique. So I don't know. I like unique things. I do. That's why I buy them. Another thing that sold was the kitty, the sleeping kitty that Juliet helped me pick out. Now, a lot of you saw that video and you're like, well, that's from a ceramic yarn basket. And I'm like, a ceramic, what? Ceramic yarn basket. Apparently, this sleeping cat would have fit on top of a base, and you would store your yarn in it, and there's 2 holes in it, and the yarn would come out of the holes, I guess, and you would knit, I don't know. I thought it was just a cute little ceramic cat that I could put under the chair as decoration. Who knew? It was part of a yarn basket. So a knitting basket, maybe that's like the more proper way of describing it. That sold for $38. And that was one of I will give Juliet credit for that one. The little planter, it's a ceramic rooster with this house, and it is just an absolutely massive rooster. And I just giggled about it when I talked about it in my haul because it was a funny joke. $17 that sold for, the ceramic rooster house planter. Another thing that sold is the milk glass bottle jug thing. That was marked Lillian Vernon, and that sold for $22. That was from 1982, I do believe. I think it was from 1982. Now another thing that sold, and I was very pleased about this. I just threw my phone across the room. I was really pleased about this. It was the little, you guys probably remember it from my haul video. It was the little Art Nouveau vase. It was Majolica, but it was, I believe it was French, so that would have made it Barbotine, I think, because that's like the French version of Majolica. It was a very beautiful piece. Unfortunately, it had some chipping, it had a crack, but it's just so beautiful. And I was like so disappointed, and I'm thinking, you know, I could hold on to this, but there's potentially someone out there who could also see the beauty in this. So I listed it as is for $16, and that sold. So I'm so happy that someone else can see this piece and see past the chips and the cracks and see like this is something spectacular, because it is a beautiful little vase. And that was from the Goodwill on a day that the manager was there and he could not see past the chips and cracks. So that's his fault. He missed it. Now the little denim purse with the ladybugs, that sold for $22. That purse was just darling. It did have a monogram on one of the back pockets, but somebody suggested just putting a patch over the monogram. Perfect idea. That is a wonderful idea. And perfect solution. I don't have the time for it, but the buyer could potentially just put a patch over the monogram if it bothers them. So that sold for $22, and that's just a darling little purse. And the last thing on here, I never filmed, so we're not going to include that. So those are the items that have sold since my last video, but I really wanted to keep you guys up to date because we've already ran on for 20 minutes. And if I would have put this video off any longer, we would have gone on to 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and so on. So I do have to list some more items on my Etsy shop because I honestly can't keep up. I list stuff and then it just goes out the door. And with putting out at least one video a day, sometimes two, It's really hard to keep up with the sales, so I'm just gradually putting stuff out as I can keep up with it. So you guys are gonna just have to be patient with me. I get a lot of emails. Have you listed this yet? Have you listed that yet? Have you listed this yet? And I'm like, I'm working on it. But anyway, that is everything that's sold. I will put the gross profit up in this corner. This is our gross profit. This does not include taxes. This does not include Etsy fees. This is just before all of that. Obviously it does not include shipping because I charge my buyers shipping. Shipping is irrelevant. We don't count it. It does not include my travel. It does not include my gas. It does not include any of that because this is a hobby for me. This is something I enjoy, and factoring all that in just doesn't make any sense to me because I just do it for the fun of it, really. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it brought value to your life, and I will see you on the next video. Later.